Moin! Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Disadvantages of living in Germany. Expectation versus reality. Watch this before moving here. Let's see. These videos are always interesting. I'll try to give my perspective coming from a Canadian. Yes, I am from Canada. My name is Mace. Welcome to the channel. Make sure to leave a comment down below for the algorithm, if for not. Nothing, I suppose I meant to say. Let's check it out.
Is life in Germany actually such a fairy tale? And if that's the
Listen, life's a fairy tale nowheres.
case, then why do so many people move away and never come back? In this video, I'll talk about the reality of living in Germany. Let's get
I think I'm gonna move to Toronto and be a street person.
started.
I'm joking. Adjusting to lower levels of
Although Germany is
digitalization.
home to a number of tech giants, it's still quite traditional or old-fashioned when it comes to digitalization. Cash is king in this country, and you will often find that places like restaurants and bars don't accept cards. In fact, nearly half of all the transactions in Germany are still conducted in cash. Additionally, booking appointments at places like city halls, doctors, banks, or even hairdressers typically can't be done online. You will often have to call there or visit them in person to get a termin, an appointment, and a common excuse is the strict
So I've seen this a lot, and you guys have reiterated in the comments that a lot of you don't use cards. You still use, and if you do use cards, it's probably not a credit card, it's maybe a debit card, but you have cash, you have change, and you pay that way. And a lot of the businesses not enforce, but a lot of the businesses go along with that and only accept cash, right? At least from what you guys have told me. I don't know if that's just a myth to some degree, but now she's talking about booking appointments and things like that. I always like to call the shop that I'm going to book the appointment at personally.
privacy laws, but I'm not really sure it's the primary reason. Therefore, if you're used to a more digital lifestyle, adjusting to Germany's old-fashioned methods can be quite a hassle at first.
I think that's good. They should drag us kicking and screaming into this digital world, because increasingly the digitization of everything is getting crazy. A colleague of mine and I were joking yesterday because he needs to set up his new email account at work. But to do that, you need to have some sort of authenticator app on your smartphone. Well, guess what? He doesn't have a smartphone. So how does he do it? He's fighting against the system, you know. It's flip phone, you know what it is? It's flip phone discrimination. That's what it is. He really
Integrating
doesn't like sharing his
into German
information,
society comes with its
I'm
own
all there
unique
with him,
challenges. The social norms here, such as punctuality or directness, can feel overwhelming and even come across as rude to newcomers. And although Germans are generally friendly, they can sometimes appear cold due to their reserved nature, to their mentality. And for example, small talks with strangers aren't as common here as they might be in other cultures. Another struggle that I have experienced myself was a problem of making friends in Germany. I
don't think that's isolated to Germany. I think in the current technological social climate, it's more difficult to make friends, I think. You have to join groups, you have to go to events, you have to find people of like mind, or at least in the same age groups, to some degree. Because the key to friendships usually breaks down to proximity. Proximity and life stage. So, do you have kids? Do you have a family? Are you 20? Are you 40? Are you in university? Are you working? Do you play sports? Do you play video games? Like, there's so many variables. Do you like hiking? Do you prefer nights out in the city? Like,
building close friendships here is quite hard because Germans often take a while to open up. Finding housing in Germany, particularly in larger cities such as Munich, Berlin, Stuttgart.
So, I'm just going to put it on mute and read the subtitles for a second. The housing market, I think, everywhere with inflation, especially in metropolitan cities. Like there's going to be high competition to rent it, right? She's talking about the difficulty of getting a place, even getting a small room with shared with roommates can be difficult.
Are not allowed in this flat.
And yeah, the rules as well, no children, no pets,
Or for example, that I'm going to rent this apartment out only to a single man with the income higher than this or that. If you thought that learning German was tough, try understanding the local accents. Germany has more than 15 dialects that are very different from Hochdeutsch, or this standard German that all foreigners learn. And although I speak German fluently, I struggle to understand people when they use a local dialect. There were also some funny moments when I didn't get anything what a person was saying, and I was even thinking that they speak another language. And additionally, it's very hard to master the pronunciation to sound like a native speaker. But I guess it's always like that with a foreign language.
You have to immerse yourself in the language to learn it, and that's what you got to do. I think I could do it. I want to learn a bunch of
Germans are known
Maybe
for their strict rules, and some of them may seem very ridiculous. For instance, it's illegal to run out of fuel on the Autobahn, and there are even laws that regulate how often you can barbecue outdoors, or you have to pay a huge fine.
Don't forget, on Sundays, you better not make too much noise.
While these rules do ensure order, they can also cause confusion and frustration. There is also this stereotype that some annoying neighbors can call the police when you do something wrong, or they would better complain about you to your landlord behind your back instead of talking to you directly. And unfortunately, it's true. Germans are also very strict when it comes to deadlines or other rules, even if they are not significant. Even in every park or on every playground, there will be a sign with 20 different points of what is allowed or not allowed to do here.
Hey.
Many foreigners find it difficult to access services in Germany, whether it's scheduling a doctor's appointment, or securing a meeting at the local city hall, or just calling a hotline to resolve it.
I feel like that last point about Germany having so many rules. Canada has a lot of rules too. I think it's just rules about different things. I bet Germany is really open and free and rule free for a lot of certain things that are in Canada per se are frowned upon or totally not allowed, right?
Issue. On top of that, if you don't speak German, the language barrier can make accessing certain services nearly impossible. Although I speak German and have been living in Germany for several years, it still frustrates me when a small problem takes a lot of time and effort to solve. For example, if you want to go to a doctor, usually you will get an appointment in 3 months. Or if you need any document, you cannot get it online or by email, you will have to go to a city hall and wait for 3 hours in a waiting line.
Bureaucracy. Government bureaucracy.
Germany strictly regulates minimum salaries and other financial aspects of the country, which can make certain services that are usually cheap in other countries seem very expensive in Germany. I always think about getting a haircut or other beauty treatments that are 3 or 5 times cheaper in my home country. Handymen also charge very high fees for their work. Another example that always makes me frustrated when I think about it is when you go to a vet. My husband and I have a dog, and every time we go to a vet with our dog Johnny, we pay like 100 or 200 euros for a 10-minute appointment.
That's just the way it is.
So, although your salary in Germany may seem high, prices for some services can shock you. That's it for today. Thanks for watching this video, and don't...
Alright, good stuff. You guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I don't know, sometimes these videos feel like they can be somewhat anecdotal and or of the opinion of the video creator. Now, I'm not saying all of these things are wrong. To the contrary. I just think they're not necessarily isolated nor unique to Germany. Or There's a lot of similarities between Germany and Canada, and that's why they don't seem like issues in which I'm shocked or surprised. All right, we shall see you all very soon. Peace out.